So obviously, new design, looks sexier. Obviously, nice Gibson shape. But one thing you'll see with this guitar is that we keep the core essence of the Guitar Hero franchise and what this installed base of 4 million plus with our guitars has become used to. So the fretboard, the strum bar and the whammy bar are positioned like they have been on our other guitars. Nevertheless, there has been some improvements we've made in this area. As you can see, the fretboard is now more sexy looking. It's not like a Fisher-Price toy anymore. And also on the fretboard, you'll find that the buttons themselves have been improved, so they're not as spongy as they were on previous models. The strum bar itself, again, pretty much the same, slightly longer than on the previous models, but the digital contacts inside, again, have been improved, so you just get that better feeling when you're strumming down there. Other little subtle areas that we've changed. On some other guitars that we've seen, the natural position, we're playing like this. So having buttons in this area and this area we found wasn't good. You could hit the start button and basically pause the game and stuff like this. It's really something that we kind of had to get away from. So you'll see that the actual button here that you can actually manually use for star power, that's in a great place there. But then there's a cage that kind of circles the button here, so you don't, on this guitar, accidentally hit that pause button in the middle of one of your great plays. So just tiny little things that some people don't notice, but they're there, and it's really been thought out well. Other things you'll find with this guitar is that we really wanted to make this thing sturdy. I mean, our last guitars, were sturdy, and they really did stand the test of time. But this guitar now, as you'll see when you feel it, is very robust. It's heavier than the last guitars, and things like neck twisting now. There's just not any flex there anymore compared to the other guitars. So in other areas, the build quality of this guitar is a lot better than it was before. So I'm just going to take it. Okay, another area that we're going to go into now is the customization of the guitar. So one of the first things you'll see is that the neck detaches down. So, of course, you can put it in a back sack, cycle over to your friend's house, without it sticking out the top of your back sack. It's easier to store. And it also gives us some other, future possibilities as well. Then, as you can see here, customizable faceplates. I said on our other guitars you saw some third-party sticker sets that came in these kind of sticker things, and they were kind of okay, but they were kind of cheap looking. What we're going to see now in the marketplace at various retailers is that you'll be able to put some really high quality imagery on these faceplates, and you can really start to customize. The consumers out there can pick from a whole bunch of designs and really start to make that guitar more of their own personality and not just the red SG or the black SG as we've seen before. So that's a big win. I think it's it's a pretty kind of sexy addition to this guitar, and it's integral, so it kind of matches pretty well. I think the last area I'll sort of go into is the tech side of things. It's been quite a big project really, coming out with four guitars that all run on wireless technology, all on the same day here, and a couple of weeks later in Europe. So we've got big builds going on. And one thing that we heard last year was that why aren't these guitars wireless? We want wireless, but one thing that's important to us was to make these guitars work real well in wireless, and wireless technology is not as simple as the wire, and we had to embrace our first party guys at Microsoft, Sony and Nintendo to get this done and get it done right. So the Les Paul 360 wireless is the first third party wireless accessory full stop on the marketplace. Again, very hard to do right, but again we've worked very well with Microsoft, And this thing's will be out on the release date, and I think you'll find that it operates very, very well, and it's very similar to the existing Microsoft radio that they have in their current wireless guitar. The Wii, again, this is quite interesting as well. Again, the same Guitar Hero, the basics, the fret bar, the strum, sorry, the fretboard, the strum, everything's the same, so you still get that same Guitar Hero experience. But we integrate this into the guitar, the Wii remote, and basically we pick up Nintendo's Bluetooth radio, so we connect with that, and then we also use the accelerometer that's inside the remote for your star power. Other little things that we pick up on as well is the rumble feature. When you come up to star power, the Wiimote rumbles, so it gives you a little jolt to get you up there. And also, when you miss a note, the sound comes out of the Wiimote as well to give that little ping. So, we've pretty much got the most out of the Wiimote as we can get for now. And as we go forward with other things, we kind of look to use it even more. But again, keeps the essence there, with the rest of them. The PS3, which you'll see in the room over there, again, pretty much the same essence, and again, works very much like the existing controller that you get with a PS3. One thing, sorry, no, don't. I'll try now. One other thing that you probably won't be aware of within the guitars, especially the PS3 and the 360, is that on our next generation guitars, we're no longer using rollable switches for star power, which on our first SG guitar and the third-party guitars you see out in the marketplace, just basically a tiny little rollable switch, up, down, and it just detects where you are. On our 360 and our PS3, and obviously by default within the Wii, our guitars now have an accelerometer on board on the board here. So yes, for GH3 we're using an accelerometer for star power, but it also gives us, for the future, possible other areas of implementing such technology. It's important for us to build that in at this stage, because we don't really want to be, doing it again and then making people buy other guitars that have accelerometers versus old rollable switches. So again, we're trying to look out on these guitars as far out as we possibly can, because we know it's a big investment, for consumers to spend anything between $80 and $100, for a bundle. That's a lot of money. So we're trying to build these guitars sturdy and with, a lot of future in them. So we're not changing up guitars, on a yearly basis, just to get people into a new guitar, through features. We'll do that through. We will introduce more guitars, but then that'll be, be more shape and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, I think that's pretty much it from me. I said I'm bored myself there. So.